Welcome to part 11 of our Clone Wars rewrite. We are currently rewriting the character of Ahsoka Tano, and in this video we'll be focusing on Season 2, Episode 2, Cargo of Doom, where we'll continue the subplot of Ahsoka's confidence, as well as giving her more experience facing her own mortality. Thanks for joining us.
According to the argument against Ahsoka. Ahsoka sulks after Anakin doesn't take her suggestion to just leave and destroy the ship, and thus Bane and the holocron as well. Ahsoka then suddenly insists on catching Bane. She chases after him, following him away from the others, ignoring Anakin as he shouts after her, explicitly warning her it's a trap. Because of Ahsoka's rash behavior, Anakin is forced to open the holocron for Bane and let him get away. When Anakin then wants to continue going after Bane, Ahsoka yells at him for acting rashly and orders him to escape the ship with her. He hangs his head and obeys, and shortly after has to stop her from jumping off the escape transport to go after the holocron again. At the end of the episode, the writers have Anakin take responsibility off of Ahsoka by reassuring her that it wasn't your fault, it was mine, start to finish.
Ugh. These episodes are
awful. Fun! Oh. Overconfidence is the most dangerous form of carelessness.
That perfectly describes Ahsoka. Like, literally.
Oh, I guess we're going down with the ship. Roger, roger.
We're receiving.
We tried to stop them, but they left the outpost.
Now what ship Master Opal is on?
Again, Ahsoka witnessed that. She was standing in the background watching that.
Something like that should definitely have an effect on you. It's war!
You think they have Master Opal on board as a prisoner?
Is that even a question? Like, duh! Of course they have Ropal on board as a hostage.
Well, I think the idea is that the last time he was seen was on the planet. So it's not a guarantee that he's on the ship, but it's also been established that Jedi can sense one another through the Force. You could have her ask something to show that she's trying to learn, rather than just, are you sure he's there? Like, there's lots of stuff for her to learn. It's like, the lessons we're kind of focusing on are more internal, but like, what she's learning as a Jedi is like external stuff. Mostly, you know, how to wield a lightsaber and how to, you know, use the Force, sense through the Force, stuff like that. So you can show that she's trying to learn her external skills. She says, you know, I can't sense his presence, do you? She understands that, like, okay, you know, if we're trying to find someone, especially another Jedi, she already knows that you can kind of sense the Force, because this is what we saw in like the first episode with her. She sensed Plo Koon, but she has a very strong connection to Plo Koon. So, you know, this is someone who she doesn't have a strong connection to, and she's trying to use her Force senses.
Already the troops were boarding.
Boarding? We have no boarding craft. We were prepared to land on the planet, not aboard another ship. You can't be serious.
What is this?
I was just about to ask that. It's already been established that Yularen is familiar with Anakin's reckless style, so why is he all of a sudden like, oh, you're being reckless, what is this?
Are you serious? He sounds like Ahsoka. You could just have him say, we weren't prepared for boarding, we were supposed to land on the planet, or... Basically, he just, like, confirms that Anakin is aware that their resources in terms of boarding are limited. He's just communicating, making sure they're on the same page, rather than, what?
We're going to board a Separatist frigate, rescue Master Opal, and recover an archive holocron.
We have no assault craft, sir. Only a couple of fighters in the twilight. Waiting for orders, sir.
And the plan is? Just curious.
Anakin, like, glares at Rex.
Yeah, no, that was kind of weird on Anakin's part.
Yeah, and they're making all the interactions really weird. Like, these are people who are used to dealing with Anakin. And again, Rex's comments aren't necessarily out of line. He's just communicating, okay, asking, okay, how are we going to do this? Because we're not prepared.
I came down to see if I could be of any help, General Skywalker.
Actually, you can. Activate those walkers, Admiral.
You are not thinking of using those to transport the clones to that frigate. Those walkers are designed for terrain, not space.
Okay, so Anakin didn't have a plan. He was just gonna make it up on the spot.
I have no assault craft, sir. Only a couple of fighters in the twilight. Waiting for orders, sir.
I wouldn't have Anakin glare at him. I'd have Anakin kind of glance around like he does in the later scene. He sees the walkers. Then Admiral Yularen comes in. He's like, "Hey, I came down to see if I could be any help." And Anakin's like, "Yeah, let's activate those walkers."
So we would cut out Ahsoka's line about, what's the plan? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I would cut that out.
Yeah. It's just one of the, she's constantly questioning him.
Activate those walkers, Admiral.
You are not thinking of using those to transport the clones to that frigate.
Well, they are pressurized.
And they're equipped with magnetic feet.
I would keep Rex and Ahsoka's lines. I wouldn't have the Admiral freaking out. And I think I don't know if it's too big a problem, if it's just me who's bothered by it, but I would change Anakin's line so it's not like, yeah, activate those. It's like, yeah, can you activate those?
I don't think I would completely get rid of Yularen's line. I would just change it to be like, you're planning to use those to board the ship? Because there are other episodes where he's like, oh my goodness, Anakin, here we go again, right? Like, and it's not necessarily disrespectful. It's just kind of like, why am I being paired up with this guy? He works totally different from me.
Those walkers are designed for terrain, not space.
And I would remove Yularen's line there. Like, oh, they're made for terrain, not space. Because, like, you know, he just heard them say, hey, this will work. They're pressurized and they've got magnetic feed. Like, so him still being like, what? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
He could look a little, like, grim or kind of, like, exasperated. But I wouldn't have him say anything. I would have him go to activate. Oh.
Why? This is a kid's show!
So much torture, and it really focuses
goodness.
on it. And it's a long, drawn-out scene. It's really dark.
When my benefactor gets this, he will compensate you for your puny fleet.
Puny fleet.
Should we send out reinforcements?
No.
What are you doing?
Did you say no? Roger, roger.
Look at this outfit she's wearing now in comparison to her other outfit. I mean, like, it's still uncomfortably tight, but at least it covers stuff.
Yeah.
R2, you have to find Master Ropal. Hurry!
All of a sudden, she's freaking out.
It fits well into our fixed version, but yeah, it's totally out of character for her. Everyone is out of character in this episode.
It pretty much. It's just, well, Bane is still awesome.
Yes,
But
and
everyone
Rex. Rex is still doing great.
Just to kind of reiterate, Ahsoka's just kind of come off of huge failure, huge drop in confidence, but she took some time and she ended up being able to kind of like regain some confidence by helping out, and you know, Anakin kind of like spoke to her insecurities and boosted her up again, and now she wanted to come along because she's concerned for the fact that the holocron that was stolen has information about the future Jedi children. So in that case, then yes, her being like, oh no, he's got both pieces and gotta hurry R2, that kind of makes sense. I would kind of change her facial expressions in between her lines though. They just seem kind of weird.
No one gets off this ship.
Yes, sir.
Is she thinking?
I definitely got that impression.
Okay, well, I guess R2 has already been told to find the Master Ropal or whatever his name is. He's already been told to do that, and she's like ordering him to do it again, except adding hurry! This required thought?
She could tell him, like, please hurry, R2, or something like that.
Yeah, I'd be fine if she added like a please.
R2 deserves courtesy, man. He's awesome.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, from the earlier episodes with the Goldie arc, she should have learned a little respect for R2. So, definitely, there should be a bit of a please in there.
Yes, a bit of a please.
How much damage is there?
I suggest immediate evacuation.
I suggest you immediately evacuate the ship. Let's walk around. Nice and slow. Oh, let's open this one. Where's the urgency?
Yeah, I would have her frantically running from door to door trying to find Ropal, because if she really cared all that much, she would be hurrying.
Yeah, and not just her, right? Like, there's other people in the background there who are also just kind of standing around. Have all of them hitting buttons, checking rooms. Like, part of the problem with this show is that it's like, urgency, urgency. Let's all walk around and enjoy our time on Earth. It's like, what? It's so weird. It's like, okay, if you want things to feel urgent, make them seem urgent.
Master! I found him! We might not be able to find the holocron in time, Master. But if it's destroyed with the ship, New Gunray won't get it either.
Maybe, but I'd rather return it to the library personally.
Come on, R2.
I would get rid of her look afterward.
Yeah, like I said, she comes off kind of sulky. Oh, I made a suggestion and he didn't take it. Oh.
Yeah, you can definitely hear the disappointment in her tone when she's like, come on, R2.
It's just a weird scene because she, like, you know, she finds the master and her reaction to finding the dead Jedi Master isn't bad. I'm glad that they gave her a good kind of reaction to that. Like, I'm not against her voicing her opinion. That's part of who she is. She has a voice. She deserves to use it. And the way she worded it in her tone wasn't disrespectful. So I have no problem with that. It's just when Anakin doesn't take her suggestion, all of a sudden she gets sulky. And it's like, what? Like, you were doing good. And now all of a sudden it's just like, nope. And the thing is, like, there's no guarantee that Bane wouldn't escape the ship, hasn't already escaped the ship. They have no idea where he is, right? So for her to be like, oh, if we just blow up the ship now, then it's perfectly fine. It's like, well, no, there's escape pods and, you know, you don't even know where he is right now. He could be getting into escape pod as we speak, right? Like, I think I would kind of... Oh, no, I guess technically it's in character for Anakin, because Anakin's like, you know, I want to return it to the library personally, right? Like, and again, this kind of goes to show that the quip at the beginning was aimed at Anakin, not Ahsoka, even though it fits Ahsoka perfectly.
Yeah.
They're showing Anakin's overconfidence, and this is a thing that Anakin has, and I'm not against the show kind of trying to frame that as a bad thing. But the thing is, they frame Anakin's overconfidence as a bad thing, and they frame Ahsoka's overconfidence as badass. It's like, okay, no, you can't have it both ways. And then the other problem is that in this episode, Anakin's overconfidence is called out and frowned upon by Ahsoka. It's like, okay, no, if you want to have this moment where, like, somebody tells him off for being cocky, have it come from Obi-Wan or like Admiral Yularen, somebody with similar or higher authority. Don't have it come from his Padawan, especially the Padawan who, like, screws up horribly for the exact same reason in this very episode. So yeah, just fix her response to him not taking her suggestion. Maybe have her look concerned. And I don't know if I would have her kind of say, like, come on, R2, even if you, like, tried to change the voice. I don't know if it would really come across very well. Maybe just have her put her hand on R2 and then start walking, and then you get this shot. How many times have we talked about this? You're reaching for something. Why don't you just pull it to you with the force? My bubbles. See? Uses the force there.
I'll get him, Master!
Ahsoka, wait! It's a trap!
She can hear him. She's ignoring him.
Ahsoka, wait!
Blatantly ignoring him. I would probably change it so that you don't have Anakin stopped by the clone, right? Like they have Bane shoot the clone down, so then Anakin has to catch the clone. Instead, I would have it that he's like, Ahsoka, let's go! And so they run off together, but then something like, because their shooting's still going on, you could have somebody fall on top of him, you could have him like trip over something, you could have him get shot in the leg, something that just for a split second is all it takes, and Ahsoka gets through the doors and he doesn't. Ooh, something like that. There you go. That happens. Ahsoka gets through the door. Anakin doesn't. She tries calling to Anakin, but...
I would have him knocked out so he doesn't respond.
Yeah.
So she kind of hesitates, but then she goes ahead.
I wouldn't give her any like monologue or anything like that, but I would have it that she's doing it so that she can keep track of Bane, right? She's not going to run after him and engage with him, but she will try to stop him if he's like getting into an escape pod or something like that, or she's going to keep trying to reach Anakin on her transmitter and be like, oh, we're over here. So she's not going after him for the lust of violence and I'm gonna be the one to catch this guy, because again, she should understand he's a formidable opponent. And she's not as confident as she was. And in the holocron heist, the way we kind of had it was that, yeah, she wasn't running after Kato to engage them. She was running after Kato to keep track of them. And she was transmitting, hey, I've got the person, they're over here, right? So I'd have her doing the same thing here.
I'm not impressed.
I'm not impressed.
That whole fight scene is stupid, though. They did the same thing with Ventress, man, and Grievous. Ahsoka was holding her own against all these unbelievably formidable figures, and she makes everyone else look bad. So much freaking plot armor.
Pathetic. Bane looked pathetic. And
Ventress looked pathetic. And
Grievous
always looks pathetic in this show. So, but if we had her following him just to keep track of him, I would have her not like out in the open, but kind of, those little outcrops on the walls? I would have her kind of going from one to the next one to the next one, just keeping an eye on him. And then there's like a split second where he kind of looks back, and so she jumps behind the cover, and then when she looks back out again, he's gone, and then she kind of comes a little further out and starts looking around for him, and he pops up out of nowhere and knocks her out.
He just right away zaps her. There's no fight. And the other thing is, yeah, he shoots at her. Why does he shoot at her? He wants her alive.
I don't have the holocron memory, and I seem to have misplaced my Padawan.
I love how they have Anakin be like, oh, I seem to have misplaced my Padawan. It's like, no, your Padawan ran off on you. I would just have it that, he's like, abandon your mission. He's like, I can't do that right now. Just get back and wait for us.
Of all the Jedi, why did I have to end up with Skywalker?
He's worked with Anakin in the past. Why is he like this?
I would actually probably just have him say, of all the Jedi that I could be sent with, and just leave it at that.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. Those binders have been specially designed for Jedi. The more you struggle, the tighter they get. Impressed now, youngling?
Not really.
Because we didn't have the, oh, I'm not impressed line earlier, he just wouldn't say that and then she wouldn't respond. I would have her look concerned though. She's like, oh crap. And the ship is still exploding and I'm caught by this guy. What's going on? Like, what is he planning to do with me?
Did you notice Bane straight up tries to like caress her in that moment? And it's so off-putting. And it's just like straight up another one of those like kind of like the Bo-Katan moment from season 4, A Friend in Need. Would we have him take her Padawan beads?
Actually, I would have him take her Padawan beads, and maybe instead of his, impressed now, maybe he could be like, they call you a Padawan, like, I'm not impressed, or something like that. And then in the next episode, she gets back a little bit more of her confidence when she will have her actually succeed in being helpful. Like, she doesn't save the day herself, but she's actually helpful rather than just not helping and taking the credit.
Impressed now, youngling?
Not really.
That line is so friggin' stupid. It's like, you were an idiot, you fell right into his trap, and you're like, I'm not impressed. Wow.
Yeah, like, you're literally, like, completely helpless. I'm not impressed. Right. I mean, like, on the one hand, it makes sense that you wouldn't be impressed. You would be, like, upset or feeling stupid or something like that. Like, impressed would probably never be the kind of thing you're like, oh, yes, I am impressed now.
This burning boat is about to finish us both off.
We have time. The bond between the Jedi teacher and his apprentice is strong.
Which means my master will be coming for me any minute.
She's so... This is
Let's see if we can get him here.
attitude!
If you changed her tone with the line about this ship's gonna take us both down, be okay? Again, she's like just totally brushing off the fact that she might die. It's kind of weird. If you had it in her tone that she's scared, but she's kind of like, well, at least you're going down too. Because, we did have in the Blue Shadow virus arc that she kind of has to face her mortality, and Padme and her kind of talk about, self-sacrifice and stuff like that. So she's still scared. She still doesn't want to die.
This burning boat is about to finish us both off.
We have time. The bond between the Jedi teacher and his apprentice is strong.
Which means my master will be coming for me any minute.
Does Bane's response even make sense? This ship is gonna blow up. The bond between us. I don't want is strong. What? It doesn't matter how strong the bond is.
The ship is still gonna blow up.
Blow, and you don't know exactly when.
What if we had him respond like, we have time, but just in
Let's
case,
speed up
let's
the
see if
clock.
we can get your master here any faster.
Yeah, because then you would cut out her line of like, oh, he's gonna be here any minute, walking right into the trap that I baited because I walked into a trap. Which is very stupid.
Yes.
Again, the writers are making her seem all like badass because she's like talking back to Bane. It's like, okay, no, you put yourself in this position and now you're putting Anakin in this position. You should not be cocky right now. I would actually, because she's at least ship's gonna blow, but at least you're going down with me. And he's like, you're right. Maybe we should speed up the process of your master getting here or something like that. And then, yeah.
Your master has gotten the message.
I would not have her do that because that is literally so stupid.
She's just laying there. She waits until he puts up the ray shield and then she runs at him. What? I would maybe have it that when he's listening to the transmission, she gets up and maybe tries to run, but then he like grabs her.
Maybe she could like try to body slam him and take his legs out from under him and then kind of go for the door to see if she could escape.
But yeah, either way, Bane grabs her, throws her back in, hits the button, and she doesn't try to run into the ray shield like an idiot.
If I activate this control, the outside airlock will open and she will be sucked into oblivion. Do you think you can kill me and then save her before she's pulled out into space? It's a horrible way to die.
A little more emotion from her, please. Like, they are showing something, but please show more. She looks mildly concerned. I want to see fear.
Maybe she's trying to cover up how she's feeling in an attempt to put Anakin more at ease, because she doesn't want to give up the holocron.
I would maybe have it then that she looks toward the door and you see she's scared. But then when she kind of like closes her eyes, swallows, and then when she turns back, this is what you see. And so you can see she is very scared, but she's trying not to show it for Anakin's sake.
No, Master! Don't do it!
I can't let you die, Ahsoka.
Master, no!
In this version, I hate Ahsoka. Like, you put yourself in this position, but the writers are having her look so righteous and like self-sacrificial, and it's like, oh, okay. So she screws up humongously and you prop her up. As always. In our version, would we change her tone a little bit? Maybe make her a little quieter? Like, she does say those things, but it's not quite so like, no, sacrifice me! I'm okay with it! It's like, no, Master, don't. You can't do what he wants. It's hard for her to say it, but she's saying it because she's like, no, I can't give up those children just for myself.
We're trying to make our way to the shuttle now.
Get out of there!
Yep, we're trying to leave. Get out of there! I just said we're trying.
Yularen kind of sucks in this episode.
Like any movie or show, I hate it when people are like that.
We'll combine this holocron with the memory crystal I acquired from your dead Jedi friend.
Exposition. You know, you could have just done it instead of telling us you were doing it and then doing it.
I think we've already kind of established that these two things go together, and we've told you already what they are more than once.
I would have her expression be like, you know, actually fearful. And I would have her like kind of take a minute to recover there.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say that. Like, she's not standing up. She's like on her knees, breathing hard. Like, she's just had a huge shock. Like, that's terrifying. And he comes over and puts a hand on her. She kind of takes another breath or so and then sits up, and he cuts her bonds, and she takes her lightsaber. We don't really see... Yeah, again, it's kind of like mild concern rather than I'm about to die terror. This is so weird. Please make her look genuinely scared. Especially right here.
Rex, I hope you found us a ride off this bucket.
We've got to leave now.
Okay, again, Rex's lines make no sense. Because Anakin's like, have you gotten us a ride off of here? And he's like, we have to leave. It's like, okay! We know we have to leave. That's why I'm asking. Did you find us a way to leave?
I'm going after that bounty hunter.
Master, wait! Stop! This is the way to the hangar. We must get off the ship now.
I can't let Bane get away.
Patience! Master, patience.
You're right.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Really? She's telling him off after what she just did.
Wow.
Even I do it, but like, no, you have to stop right now. And again, this isn't like her pleading with him. This is her ordering him around. And then, yeah, he's just like, you're right. Excuse me? No, this is not okay.
Okay, then I would just have her say, wait, and then he's like, oh no, I want to go after Bane. I would not have her tell him that he has to have patience, because, like, even in our fixed version, that's just no.
Again, this is after she got all upset because he didn't want to just like blow up the ship and leave. And then she's like, oh, I'm gonna go get Bane. And then he's like, okay, I'm gonna go get Bane. She's like, no, you can't do that. We have to go with my plan A, which was leave and let the ship blow up.
Flip,
like,
flop, flip,
flop,
flop, flip, flop. Oh my goodness.
Maybe just like, yeah, he's like, I'm gonna go after that bounty hunter. And she slides to a halt and, Master, wait. And so then he stops and he looks back at her and she's like, you know there's not enough time. We have to get off the ship now or never. And then I would kind of have him like look down where he was going to be running to, kind of like, Arr! And then he comes back to her. And instead of like, you know, you're right, and coming back to her, it's like, I want to go, but, oh, okay, she's right. Like, he doesn't say it, but he shows, yes, she's right.
This ship is on fire.
I hate the whole run, stop, look around. Okay, now we can keep it. Why do they stop?
Purely for drama.
Yeah, don't have them stop.
And they do it again!
Yeah, I don't know if I would have them stop there either. Maybe slow down as they see what's like going on. And I would have them react a little bit more to quote unquote Bane shot and fall down.
Did you get the holocron?
No, sir.
I'll get it, Master.
Flip flop, flip flop, flip flop. No, we have to go now. Oh, I'm gonna jump off the ship and go get the holocron. No, there's no time.
Yeah, just take out the line.
Though I do have to say, Bane does a bang up clone impression.
How does that work? He would not be able to change his voice that much by himself. So I would have him just shake his head.
Yeah, because it almost sounds like they have the clone voice actor just kind of slightly change his voice rather than having the Bane voice actor try to do a clone trooper impression. Mind you, it's possible that the voice actor for Bane is just so good that he's just too close to the clone trooper voice actor. I wouldn't put that past them. Voice actors can do amazing things. I watched a video one time talking about the voice actor who did Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, because they have several episodes where Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck are like talking to each other. But there's one episode where Bugs Bunny is pretending to be Daffy Duck and Daffy Duck is pretending to be Bugs Bunny, and they're talking to each other. And other voice actors apparently are blown away because he doesn't just switch the voices and use his Daffy Duck voice when he's doing Bugs Bunny. No, he has a Bugs Bunny voice in Daffy Duck and vice versa. And like, it's just incredible. Apparently he's like one of the best voice actors of all time kind of thing because of that scene. Yeah, so I would not have Ahsoka say, oh, I'm gonna go get the holocron. You could have it that she kind of like scoots closer down the ramp. She like maybe tries to reach out with the Force, but then almost loses her balance. And so Anakin grabs her and it's like, no, we just gotta go. Look at this. Watch her, right? And then completely different pose.
Yeah, continuity error.
It's a small thing, but yes, I would fix that.
Well, it looks like the holocron was destroyed, but at least the Separatists didn't get it.
Change her tone.
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with the line itself. It's just the tone.
I can still feel it.
So stupid.
I'm sorry I let that mercenary get the upper hand.
It wasn't your fault, Ahsoka. It was mine, start to finish.
Oh, Wow.
The
What's-
holocron.
What's that face?
Was that like, oh phew, I got off scot-free again?
I don't really know. She did seem to kind of like puff up her cheeks a bit. I'm not entirely sure what that was, except that it was total BS and the writers propping her up again. Ugh! Yes, Ahsoka screwed up horribly and completely jeopardized the mission and actually like just played into the enemy's hands exactly as they wanted her to. But oh no, it was Anakin's fault, start to finish.
I would keep the whole, I'm sorry, I let the mercenary get the upper hand, and he's like, it's not your fault, but take out the whole, it was my fault, start to finish.
You could have an implied scene where she filled him, like there was just a gap of time there, so she could have been filling him in on what happened, how she got captured, or you could like kind of show that by that's what she's kind of saying as they're walking down the ramp, like so I lost sight of him and next thing I knew I woke up with the cuffs on. I'm sorry, master, I let him get the better of me. And then he's like, no, it wasn't your fault, you did your best.
Would we fix Anakin's stupidity?
Yeah, because it just opens up a huge hole. It's like, I would just remove the line. You'll probably have certain audience members being like, wait, wouldn't he be able to sense Bane? But there's been so many times where I've been like, wouldn't they be able to sense that? Wouldn't they be able to sense that? Wouldn't they be able to sense that? But there's really no answer. But here you're saying he can sense him, but he's not doing anything about it.
To recover the holocron? Or capture the bounty hunter?
No and no.
I see. So the mission was your usual version of success, then?
Oh, wow.
What?
By success, you mean I won?
What do you mean the usual version of success? Anakin's plans are usually successful.
We literally just had Storm over Ryloth where he pulled off a crazy plan and you were there to witness it.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
so stupid. And again, like in Storm over Ryloth, the failure wasn't his at all. So it's not like, oh, well, your plan screwed up and then you had to make a new plan to save the day. It was like, no, we didn't have all the information. We were caught in a trap. Your Padawan was and then you came up with a plan and saved the day. Maybe instead of having him be like, so did you get the holocron or the bounty hunter or whatever, just have him be like, all right, Skywalker, damage report, tell me what happened kind of thing. And then instead of this like, oh, well, yeah, no, I didn't get it done. Just, actually, this is really stupid. He saw what he thought was Bane get killed. So he shouldn't be saying, oh, we didn't get the bounty hunter. He should be saying, we killed the bounty hunter or something like that. You know, we couldn't recover the holocron in time, but, you know, the bounty hunter was neutralized.
Who wrote this? Like, seriously. Who wrote this?
An idiot.
If by success you mean I won, then yes.
What did he win at? It was like a total loss, other than they think they killed Bane. The ending is so bad.
Oh my goodness.
Throwaway line to prop up Ahsoka, and then they throw Anakin under the bus, and he just spews nonsense in a sheepish tone, and then the end!
Wow! A dumpster fire! Thank you!
Well, that was fun.
So that was episode 2, Cargo of Doom, where we continued the subplot of Ahsoka's confidence, as well as having her come face to face with some imminent mortality. If you enjoyed that, be sure to leave us a like, comment below with your thoughts, subscribe if you're interested in catching our future content, share this around with your friends, and consider joining our Patreon. We'd really appreciate more support there. Next, we'll be doing episode 3, Children of the Force, so be sure to join us for that.
Those bananas, they be flying, they be dying, they be flying and dying and flying at the same time. Huzzah.
I don't think it's much of a, hey, you're gonna want to listen to this if we're like, well, we're gonna have her take a step back now, but then we'll be having her take a step forward again. Well, we'll maybe have her take another step back. Brain, nope, no brain.
Where'd it go?
Oh, we could just stop here, never start again.
Just 6 more to go.
Yeah,
Half
we're
a
almost. It sounds like more when you say half a dozen. Just say 6 more, please.
Half a dozen.
You're not.
20 dozen. 300. 8,000. 1 million.